Hey guys, it's David, and today we're going to be talking about the new Scorsese film, Killers of the Flower Moon, and its Oscar predictions. This is no doubt going to get recognition during award season and whatnot, so I want to just go over the prestigious ones, so Oscars, Academy Awards, what it's going to get. I did an out-of-theater reaction review to Killers of the Flower Moon on my Thursday night premiere, so go check that out if you want. But yeah, this is an overall really good film. Scorsese, another hit. I mean, really, it's like an overall like crime film, but really dives into the emotional aspects of each individual character in the film, and it's surrounding a tough subject matter in the kind of Native American demise in that Osage community, and just it following the greed and how people went ahead to lie and deceive the Osage community and their people. It's not like peak Scorsese. So top 3 Scorsese films for me is probably Taxi Driver, number 1. Great cinematography, great music. It just surrounded me with like New York ambiance and like what it was back in the 70s, and fully embraced that with De Niro's Travis character. And then you have Goodfellas, of course. Great overall film, funny, action-packed, thrilling. It gives you a lot. Ray Liotta, Joe Pesci, De Niro, of course. That's a great crime film as well. And then you have Wolf of Wall Street, most recently, which I love DiCaprio's performance of the whole sales and trading aspect of what happened in Wall Street with this wolf and infiltrating a illegal practice in the industry and the SEC getting involved. So that for now is my top 3, and I still have yet to watch some other classics too, so I need to get on top of that. Yeah, this is really good. I mean, I gave it a solid 8 out of 10. That was my score, and I think the only downsides of this film would probably be the runtime. So 3 hours 30 minutes. I was literally thinking in the film, like during certain parts, I was thinking, man, why didn't Scorsese cut it here? He could have cut this minute off or something like that. And I was thinking that, which is kind of unfortunate, but I realized that some instances where it was long, it needed to develop. So I'm thinking about that wedding scene, no spoilers, but there's this wedding scene and the ceremony after of like them dancing, but that was a lead up to what certain characters were feeling at the time and how that was different from the others. So I think certain aspects, there's a reason for it. And now thinking about it, it's sort of like Coppola's very first scene in Godfather, the wedding scene, all that dancing going on in that Italian family, and that was over a long period, but you really want to see what the family was going through, having fun, and while all the business, all the dealing of the crime was going on in the back. So yeah, I felt like the Godfather scene and some of the scenes here that have just long takes, right? Sometimes it's necessary to get like a broader meaning towards what's happening in the film. But with that said, you guys, that's my little review. That's my little spiel on Killers of the Flower Moon. Let's just go into Oscar predictions. So for Best Picture, so we got Oppenheimer at number 1, my favorite film of the year. And this is just critically acclaimed. Audiences love this film. This is for sure number 1 for now. Nolan's magna opus. Great film overall. 3-hour pick, but much more concise and like pace-wise and story-wise. I felt like each actor embodied their character on a different level. So we're gonna get to acting performances later, but that did it in a great way. We got number 2 for Poor Things. So Poor Things, the Yorgos Lanthimos film, has been getting so much praise, you guys. I've been hearing so much great things about this film, from acting performances to the screenplay, this Yorgos Lanthimos project that is his most ambitious project, which is crazy to hear because he's done The Lobster, Sacred Deer, those kind of odd like movies, and I feel like it's kind of one of those odd ones, just like last year's Everything Everywhere All at Once. So we're gonna do Killers of the Flower Moon, our film we're talking about today, at number 3. I just don't think it can win just because of the top 2 right now. So much praise, and it has more critical acclaim and I guess a higher score. So that just fundamentally makes it a better film. Oppenheimer and Poor Things for now. Killers will for sure be nominated because it's an overall really good film. Scorsese is like always recognized at the Academy, so if he isn't, it's a subpar film, and it's not really well acclaimed or anything. So Shutter Island, I'm thinking of Silence, but that's not Killers of the Flower Moon. Killers of the Flower Moon is a really good film across the board. So we've got The Holdovers at number 4. Paul Giamatti leading. This looks like a really good Christmas film. It gives me that kind of winter vibe to it. And then it looks like a really emotional piece, and I believe it won some like film festival circuit awards. So yeah, we'll see Holdovers at Best Picture. We have Barbie at number 4, a Greta Gerwig, Noah Baumbach project. This is like the biggest movie of the year with $1.4 billion. I still haven't watched it yet, but this has a lot of praise critically and audiences. I think this is like a Top Gun Maverick of this year from a cultural impact and then also to audiences scores. We'll do Maestro, Bradley Cooper, Black and White with Carey Mulligan, let's put it on the board. I think he's taken some like physical transformations, Bradley Cooper is, as an actor and now as a director too. So we'll see what he does with that. You have Anatomy of a Fall, number 7. So I did actually some trailer reactions to Anatomy of a Fall, to Maestro, to a lot of these. So if you want to check that out, please do. Anatomy of a Fall was probably my favorite fall festival trailer. I think that kind of mystery tone and then that crime kind of drama to it, with Sandra Hüller leading, it looks really good and she looks like she's killing it. So, and we have Past Lives, which I watched. I'm sorry guys, but I gave it a 6 out of 10. It's not really my cup of tea. Kind of a slow burner romance, long distance film. I mean, I just didn't get the meaning of it, and it took too long in my opinion for certain scenes. But hey, this has been a lock for like a year now. This is the first film for this director, Celine Song, and so we'll see what comes of it. I have 9 at Napoleon, did another trailer reaction. 2 great trailers, Ridley Scott, Joaquin Phoenix, Vanessa Kirby. It looks like a great epic. Even though The Last Duel didn't get any recognition and some of his other recent films, I feel like this has a certain period aspect where the Academy might respect it. So we're gonna put Napoleon at number 9. That's more of like a hope scenario, so we'll see. And then the Zone of Interest, international flick. I feel like there's always one film that gets in every year. So we'll see if one of them makes it, and I think this will be Best International since Anatomy of a Fall is no longer in contention. As an international flick, I think it's majority in English, so they're gonna call it non-international. But Zone of Interest looks like a cinephiles film, and it's very like artsy and whatnot, so yeah, we're gonna put that at number 10. Alright guys, we got Best Director, Nolan number 1. The narrative is there. He is finally gonna get recognition as a winning Best Director. He has only gotten a nomination in Dunkirk. One film like Inception, Dark Knight didn't get recognized. It kind of pisses me off so much, but hey, I mean, this is his time, and I think a lot of people are recognizing that. Okay, number 2, Yorgos Lanthimos. I'm putting at number 2 just because the ambition. This is more of like recency bias, but like Everything Everywhere All at Once was just like an oddball movie that only certain directors could actually pursue, and I feel like it's the same for Yorgos in this. I haven't watched it yet, but it looks like really just from the mind of himself and at his best, so we'll see how that goes. And then the great Martin Scorsese, I feel like it's gonna get nominated, as he should be at this age. He's doing his best work still, and he's consistent, and we see it here. This 3-hour 30-minute film, it is like in a great pace overall, and he's directing the acting performances, the screenplay, the production design, all this in this one really good piece. We have Alexander Payne for The Holdovers, as I mentioned, Best Picture slot. This is one film that I feel will be embraced in the Academy, since I do think he has some nominations for like Nebraska maybe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I haven't watched any of his films. I need to, but he's been recognized before with like 3 nominations, I believe. So yeah, we'll go with that. And then we have Justine Treat for Anatomy of a Fall. I really think Anatomy of a Fall will be recognized this year, and maybe shoot up these boards as soon as I watch it and see what people are saying. But Anatomy of a Fall looks like a really good kind of independent looking project. The cinematography looked great, and the overall ambiance I got from that trailer just makes me feel like this is one project that people will respect. We're gonna move on to Best Actor. We got Cillian. We're just gonna be killing it with these Oppenheimer wins, but this film set him apart amongst like being a supporting actor. He is now a lead, and he fully embraced this biopic as Oppenheimer, J. Robert Oppenheimer. So I'm gonna give respect to Cillian Murphy. Leonardo DiCaprio, as I said in my review, great performance. I think he fully embodies what a 1920s straight from the war person is like, and he's definitely has his sides of, oh, you want to trust him or you want him to do better in certain aspects. I'm not gonna give anything away, but he goes through different phases, and he takes us on for the ride. So he's gonna get recognized. Paul Giamatti too looks fun. He looks like he's really going for the emotional aspects in The Holdovers, so we're going to put that at number 3. We have Bradley Cooper. This is a maybe not. It depends on if this is Oscar bait or not, and I think he's going to embody it with his whole new accent, with his nose, with the whole facial differences he's doing, and I think he's playing like an older character too, so I want to see what he does with that. But Bradley Cooper, so many nominations this past decade. We have Coleman Domingo for Rustin. I mean, people have been putting it there, so I'll just put it there. I can't think of anything else except for like Joaquin Phoenix. I think there needs to be more push, and we'll see as soon as we watch the movie. We're gonna put Joaquin at number 6 because I really want that to happen. But as we move along, we have Best Actress. So Lily Gladstone is going to be contending for lead, not supporting actress this time. But we have Emma Stone at number 1. Again, Poor Things. Been hearing so much praise, and she's definitely up there. We have Sandra Hüller for number 2. This is just my faith in Anatomy of a Fall. Just that being a real hit, a real piece of work. And I've just been hearing she's done a great performance. And then we have Lily Gladstone. great subtle performance that she doesn't even need so much dialogue to really pack a punch when it comes to revealing to the audience what she's feeling. And I feel like she does that exceptionally with her facial tones, what she's feeling, just through the eyes in general. Like, the character went a lot through this film, and she takes us on a journey through that. So let's give Lily Gladstone her praise. We have Carey Mulligan, again, Bradley Cooper's Maestro film. We'll put that on her. She's been a nominee quite in the past, so we'll put that. And then Natalie Portman, the great Natalie Portman. My Padme, let's hope she gets recognized for May, December. Again, I'm not too sure because I haven't watched those films, but we'll see what happens. And then we have Best Supporting Actor. Honestly, like the most stacked top 5 I've seen. So we have RDJ at number 1. Again, another Oppenheimer win. Great performance. Like, this is top tier level. The ending scene of him just rambling off of why he deserves what he deserves and whatnot, and again, the physical differences he took on to change into that role was great. Ryan Gosling, I've been hearing a lot of praise for. Barbie, this is the best performance of the film, so we'll just put that at number 2. Mark Ruffalo, Poor Things. So I have William Dafoe and then Mark Ruffalo on here. 2 supporting actors as nominations. We've seen it in the past, last year for Banshees of Inisherin, I believe. So I feel like these two credible, great actors of these past 2 decades will get recognized here. And then at number 4, Killers of the Flower Moons, Robert De Niro, the great, even though he didn't get nominated for The Irishman as lead actor, I'm putting this at number 4, number 5, because it kind of gets snubbed sometimes, and I feel like he'll get recognized for sure. This is Scorsese, one of his last best pictures, if we're being honest. He's an older guy, and I feel like we're gonna get a few of these Scorsese De Niro pictures, and let's hope the Academy recognizes him one last time, but let's hope for many more. All right, so next we have Best Adapted Screenplay, a major precursor on who's gonna win Best Picture. I have Poor Things at number 1 though. I just feel like the Academy recognizes more ambitious scripts and screenplays than normal ones, but it's just about the script itself. So I think Poor Things is one of those where Yorgos is just like a true writer, and the writers will embrace that. But again, you have Oppenheimer at number 2. I feel like this is 1 and 2, and I really want Nolan to get that screenplay win too, because he's a fantastic writer. But it's between those two. Honestly, this could be flipped back and forth, but we'll put Oppenheimer at number 2. Killers of the Flower Moon, long screenplay that fills in at 3 hours 30 minutes, and yeah, it's Scorsese. We'll put him at number 3. Zone of Interest, number 4, international film. Looks like those artsy movies. We'll put that there. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I feel like this animation, it had earlier praise, which I do have a reaction video coming out for this film. I'll do a full movie reaction coming soon, but a really good movie that I think might get praised. It had a lot of Academy Award talk earlier on when it came out, I think like in June or around there, but it kind of died down. But I feel like it's going to come back up as soon as like award season screeners go along. And then a major one, Best Editing, we're going to go with Oppenheimer, beautifully edited by Nolan and Jennifer Lame. This is a really great film which takes into account a 3-hour on the dot film, but goes from different timelines back and forth, going through different color schemes as well. This is an overall great project that Nolan has embraced, and his projects have been getting nominations across the board, and I feel like since this is his masterpiece, his magna opus, he'll get recognized for best editing here. We have Poor Things, again, I haven't watched it, but number 2, this is another like really big precursor to Best Picture, so Poor Things and Oppenheimer beat back and forth a lot. So Killers of the Flower Moon, editing, great scenes overall, going into the Osage community and like showing different sides of the story, and I think he did it well. Even though I feel like it could have been cut a little bit to shorten the runtime, it's still overall really good at editing in this film. So we'll put that 3. Maestro, another Oscar baiting film, we'll put at number 4. And then The Holdovers, Best Picture nomination, we'll put at number 5. We got Best Cinematography, Oppenheimer, Hoyte van Hoyma. Give him his recognition. He's done Interstellar, he's done Dunkirk, he's done Tenet. 3 great projects with IMAX cameras. He made a new black and white type of format IMAX camera. I'm not too sure, but this guy deserves it. Nolan deserves it. Nolan deserves everything, putting this whole project together with all these great artists and creatives to make this picture what it is. Maestro at number 2, another black and white. I think it's mixing the color too, so black and white to color. Similar to Oppenheimer. But yeah, this is shot really cool in the trailer, so we'll put that at number 2. Saltburn, another beautifully done trailer as far as the cinematography is concerned. We'll put that at number 3. And I actually haven't mentioned Saltburn yet, but that may be a play. It looks like an Oscar baiting film, but I've been hearing some of the ratings were kind of low, so we'll take that out for now. But the cinematography looks pretty good. Killers of the Flower Moon at number 4. Let's give this film some praise, because some of these shots literally are like picturesque. That shot with DiCaprio and and Molly, Lily Glassow's character, coming together and hugging each other for like one last time. No spoilers, but it was really beautiful with like the grass swaying in the background with the sunset, I believe. Really cool shot to see. And there's so many other shots with the Indian tribes from the oil coming out. And then also the town itself in the 1920s environment. So overall, really good looking film. We have Poor Things at number 5. Cinematography, we'll see, but 5 for Poor Things. The trailer looked pretty good in cinematography, but not as good as like the top 4. So we'll do best production design next. We have Poor Things at number 1. The trailer looked like it embodied a lot of production sets, and it looks like kind of like a fairy tale weird environment, but it looks pretty good. So we'll put that at number 1. Barbie at number 2. The doll houses, everything surrounding Barbie, Oppenheimer building Los Alamos, building that Trinity test set, and I think they actually built it. And when you have that kind of design and production team, this is bound to get recognized. We have Killers of the Flower Moon, again similar 1920s set design, and then also the oil fields. I believe this is Jack Fisk, who's the production designer for There Will Be Blood, which one of my subscribers mentioned in my very first trailer reaction for Killers of the Flower Moon. And I mentioned this looks like 2007's There Will Be Blood, the Coen brothers film, and he said it's the same production designer. So with that nomination that he had, and I believe it was a win maybe, I can't remember, but that was a great set design, and this has kind of the same level. So, and then we have a Wes Anderson film, Asteroid City, that this is probably going to be his only nomination, but Asteroid City had a really fun, vibrant set design that he has kind of all the time with Budapest Hotel and whatnot. So let's give that a nomination here. So best sound design, I have Oppenheimer at number 1. Different sound designs, right, with the atomic bomb literally going off and the Trinity test, 2 different scenes where Oppenheimer is actually like going through it, and we get to see kind of aspect of his kind of regret or his thoughts on what he did post dropping of the bomb. So there's some nice scenes with sound design implemented perfectly and beautifully. So let's give number 1 to Oppenheimer. We have Ferrari at number 2. Honestly, like 2 through 5 can be shifted around maybe, but 2 for Ferrari, just because trailers have been giving like a lot of like engine roar, and I feel like Ford v Ferrari, a lot of these other ones surrounded with automobiles and cars, I think they get nominations. We'll put Michael Mann's Ferrari at number 2 for now. We have The Killer, Fincher. I feel like he'll get a nomination at least one. It's probably going to be in a tech category, and The Killer, I think it's like a thriller genre type of film, so we'll give The Killer, Fincher 1. Love Fincher so much, but we'll give him 1 nomination here. And then we have Killers of the Flower Moon at number 4. You know, from the murders themselves to the music, and I guess like the whole theme of the 1920s and the Osage tribe, and a lot of like the movement that's around the film. This film goes through a lot. It's not just a crime thriller, it's a romance built in with a lot of action elements as well. So we'll put that here. It's sounding amazing as well, so we'll put that at number 4. And then I did Oscar predictions for The Creator, which I have it with 3 nominations, but we're gonna put The Creator at number 5. So sound design was 1. We'll just go watch it. I forget which other ones. I have 1 win, and that's in visual effects if you want to check that out. But we have The Creator at number 5. Great sound design. And then we have Best Costume Design nomination. Number 1 being Barbie. A huge culture impact that this had. We'll have that at number 1. Poor Things looks like there's a lot of elements of costume design, special effects as well. With Emma Stone and with William Dafoe. A lot of that going on. So we'll put that at number 2. Put The Color Purple, the musical. I think it's just going to get a nomination here. It seems like a musical with a lot of color elements to it. We'll put that at 3. Killers of the Flower Moon, 1920s aspects to it, the Osage tribe itself and their costumes. The film actually getting insight to what the community actually wore during the time. So I feel like Scorsese really handled that well in terms of like representing what they actually had. And then we have Napoleon, Ridley Scott's period piece back in the 1800s. I feel like this is going to be really implementing the French design and costumes. So we'll put Napoleon at number 5, and that will do for nominations. So the ones that are missing is best score. I feel like I didn't really get a punch out of it, and I feel like this is going to be snubbed. We'll take score off, but I might change my mind later on if I want to listen to it again or something like that. And then we have best makeup. Nothing really going on with makeup wise. I mean, I'm not too sure what the best makeup is going to be, but I just don't think Killers of the Flower Moon has much of that in this film, so we'll take that off. So with that being said, you guys, that's 11 nominations for Killers of the Flower Moon, a ton, just like his last one, The Irishman. However, he is not going to get any wins as of now. Very great technically crafted film and storytelling as well, but I feel like there's just a few films that are just above it, and will get more reach when it comes to voting itself. So if you guys want to check my other Oscar predictions video right after I watched Oppenheimer, please check that out. I feel like some of the nominations still live up to what they are now, but that's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please check out my other content surrounding film. I like interviewing people out of theater reactions. I like watching trailers and whatnot, so please check that out. And with that being said, you guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers, guys. Have a good one.